Welcome into Philly Voice Sports Bets. I'm Devan Kaney, joined by Eitan Shander, Harry Mays. Guys, we have a massive weekend coming up in terms of Philly sports. Phillies game 3 today. Eagles playing Cowboys in Sunday Night Football. Let's get into it all. Starting with the Phillies, game 3 against the Braves, back at home, first playoff game at Citizens Bank Park in over a decade. Energy is going to be electric, but let's talk about bets. Phillies are underdogs in this one. FanDuel has them as 1.5-point underdogs. What are you guys looking at on this one?
DK has them favored at minus 125
Really?
on the money line. So that's what I took. I took the Phillies minus 125 with Aaron Nola. He's looked masterful in the playoffs, and actually the game that got him clinched to the playoffs, and then his start in the playoffs, he's looked really dominant, and I'm hoping that I'm counting on that to continue today. And the Phillies win. Plus, apparently a bird took a dump on Mike Jarek today while he was doing his show from Citizens Bank Park or near Citizens Bank Park, and that's always
it was
a sign
right
of,
on the other side, Xfinity Live.
Okay, that's a sign of good luck. He's wearing a Phillies quarter zip or something, and while he was on camera, the bird took a dump on his shoulder, so it's a lock.
Yeah, that is luck. And I just want to say I was wrong. I'm so used to seeing a plus sign in front of the Phillies. They're also favorites on FanDuel. I just reversed that in my mind. I think I'm not used to people.
Get used to it.
Yeah. By the way, DK's moved to 125, so 120 you can still get at BetMGM.
Okay.
And FanDuel. By the way, also I don't believe that, because I was down there and we had all these different things of good luck today, right? Like round fruit, apparently taking a bite out of that.
What?
Some guy behind Jarek today ate a spoonful of kidney beans that weren't even drained. Yeah. Apparently that's exactly.
Why?
So it got me thinking, right? All this stuff seems to have originated from somebody who had a bunch of bad shit happen to them and somehow convinced everybody else that it was good luck. Like the person in the community, the village, the neighborhood, wherever, who had this big pile of shit fall from the sky, somehow convinced everybody else that, no, it's good luck. It's good luck. Right. Like maybe, I don't know what happened, right? Maybe there was an abundance of food next harvest or what happened. I don't buy that a bird shitting on you is good luck. I'm sorry.
Honestly, I've been shit on by a seagull at the beach, and it feels like bad luck whenever it happens.
Yeah, it happened to me.
On by a bird.
It happened to me on the boardwalk in Ocean City one summer, and I immediately and it was a lot, and I had to duck in. I ducked into one of the T-shirt shops, bought another T-shirt, and just threw my T-shirt away like in the trash, and immediately plunked down $15 or whatever it was back then for an iron-on T-shirt.
I was gonna say, is it like you only have one of two choices down there on the boardwalk? It's like the Ocean City that has the Ocean City logo, or it's like DILF, right? Like Dad ILF, right? That's all. I could see Harry walking around in like a DILF shirt.
Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't know what a DILF was back then. I didn't think it was some rock band logo. It might have been like a Yes shirt or something.
Who knows?
Yeah.
One more note on luck, though. So I was at the Flyers game last night working. Rob Thompson did the pregame drum, and everyone was saying that's bad juju because, of course, the Flyers aren't supposed to be good. Flyers beat the Devils handedly last night, so I think that's a good sign for the Phillies. And
Travis Konechny finally found his way to the arena.
That's amazing what happens when you can score a couple of times there, right?
Incredible.
That's a big one, though. Look, again, right, you go into last night thinking, well, Rob Thompson is going to bring bad luck to the Phillies because he's banging the drum for a bad hockey team. And then they reverse their fortune, bang up on the Devils. So wouldn't that mean that anybody thinking that Rob Thompson's bringing this negative juju, right, as you mentioned here, no, he reverse the curse. I don't know. That sounds good, too. I like the Phillies, too. I think there's actually probably a good opportunity to live bet the Phillies. I wouldn't be surprised if the Braves just got to Nola. First inning, second inning, a run. If the Phillies are down first at any point in the first 3 innings, I'm going to immediately live bet them on the money line.
Yeah, I think. Do we know who's pitching for the Braves?
Looks like Charlie Morton.
Is it? Okay, so I know they kept kind of changing between Morton and Strider.
Yeah, Strider was hurt, right? So I think they were just waiting and waiting. Look, let me tell you, I don't want to see any part of that kid. He can implode at any given moment, but he can strike 15 people out while giving up 6 runs.
Yeah.
So
before we move on from the Phillies, any props or anything like that? Every Phillies game, I teeter on like doing a Kyle Schwarber home run or like even just a Kyle Schwarber hit. I'm like, maybe he's going to get hot now. Maybe he's going to get hot in this game, but it's a risk.
Why don't you just double it and bet on Rhys Hoskins too?
Oh, yeah. Just double down on both of them.
I tell you what, though, Harry, I know you're joking with it, but wouldn't it be sport to have Rhys Hoskins have a huge
3 hits?
double?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's just sport. Like stuff like that happens, especially in this city where it's like people were crushing him, rightfully so. I mean, that was worse than A.J. Brown or Zach Ertz missing a tackle.
Well, it's like with Castellanos, with the big game that he had and the defensive play that he made. I mean, he was sort of the subject of a lot of ridicule throughout the season, and he finally showed up huge.
Yeah.
So
looking for a Schwarber RB. I don't think the Phillies props are up yet.
No, they're not. They weren't up. They weren't up at 9:00 when I last looked.
Well, you know what though? Maybe is Morton official? That's probably it then. Morton is not official yet.
Maybe.
Okay, so we still don't have because otherwise these player props are going to be up. But clearly it's going to be a different number versus Strider as opposed to old man Chuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about NFL next. Eagles, Cowboys, just like a slightly important game. Big NFC East matchup. I believe Cooper Rush is supposed to be quarterback for the Cowboys. What are you guys looking at for this one?
I'm passing on this game.
What?
Yeah. Because I just don't like anything.
Okay.
And I just want to watch it and enjoy it. And I'm just going to pass, and I'm going to bet the Atlanta Falcons plus 5.5 against the San Francisco 49ers.
Why?
That's at 6, Harry.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I got in the other day when I was texting you.
Yep.
Remember? I think it was like Wednesday afternoon or something.
Yep.
That's good that it's at 6. The Phillies or the Eagles line's up to 6.5.
Well, and to me, it's just too much. It's too many points there. So if I'm going to make a play on this game, I'm going to take Dallas plus 6.5. Unibet actually has it at minus 109. So look, the reality is that when you start to factor in injuries to the Eagles offensive line, the good defense that Dallas has brought, they did beat up on the Rams. It seems like it's more of an even game than a 6.5 point line would indicate. And I still think that a lot of this is, yes, 6.5 represents Cooper Rush playing over Dak Prescott, but it doesn't represent how Cooper Rush has played over the past couple of weeks for Dak Prescott. So look, we're all rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't have a problem with the Eagles winning this game. I think they do win this game, but I would not bet 6.5 on the Eagles. And I think I'm going to bet 6.5 on Dallas, knowing that is right there above 6, but still just way too much for two teams that I think are evenly matched in this sense. Look, the home field advantage is 3 points. That's why I take them 6.5, but I'm surprised that Harry passed on that number at 6.5, Devin, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it is a big number. I don't know if I like any side in this one, but I'm also just always hesitant to take a side when it comes to the Eagles because I choose my heart, not my head. I do like prop-wise. Cooper Rush hasn't thrown an interception yet. I like Darius Slay, James Bradbury, the Eagles secondary. I think this is the game that he finally gets picked off. So I like props like that. I think the Eagles need to commit to the runs, maybe even like Miles Sanders anytime touchdown, Jalen Hurts. But yeah, like when it comes to that spread, I don't know if I want to touch that. Harry, you said you like the Falcons. I don't know if I agree on that. I think the 49ers are going to win that one. But I like the
They can win it. Just win it by 4.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Or 5.
Yeah.
Even. 5
Yeah.
even.
Aidan, what are you looking at in other NFL games?
Well, real quick, just back to the Eagles. I see Hurts has 32.5 attempts. Now it's shaded to the under. But I don't see that happening really at all. And I would be interested in just because I don't think they'll need him to do that. So 32.5 just seems like a big number. Now, look, we saw Justin Fields go over his attempts for the first time all season in whatever you want to call that game last night. But that would be one. And then, look, I get I also get it what you're saying as far as the interception for Cooper Rush, but I think you're going to get points in this game. And if there is a bet that I would look at from Dallas' standpoint, I would take a shot at Cooper Rush throwing 2 touchdowns. Again, doesn't indicate anything here for the game at all. And then last, look, man, if I can get something on, and I can't, damn it, because it's still not up yet about what Jake Elliott is going to do. He was limited in practice on Thursday. But if I can get some Dicker props.
Dicker the kicker, man.
Damn well better believe it that I'm going to smash this. And look, Brett Maher is a guy that they kick and they use. He's active. So this game has over 3.5 total field goals written all over it.
Yep.
And if you can get over 1.5 field goals for Dicker, sign me up, because that's probably going to be plus money because he's still Dicker, not Elliott.
Right.
Right. I
Love
like
it. Love kicker props.
I'm telling you, man,
kicker
these have been
props.
pretty good. Last night was
last night
was awful. Like
Well,
last
did you guys have anything on last night's game?
I had the under 39
Yeah,
since
under
Monday. Yeah.
had under 40, had Washington money line, had Washington first half. Where I got killed was putting 2.5 units on Terry McLaurin going over 50.5 receiving yards, needing 1 catch in the second half. Again, like, it's one thing to put money on a bad team, but when you have 2 bad teams going at it, the variance in that is insane. It's like betting on Little League, right? You're expecting a shortstop, 13-year-old kid to make a throw to first base, and at like any given moment he can crack. It's like betting on Carson Wentz and Justin Fields. So,
do you know that the Curtis Samuel over 4.5 receptions was the most bet player prop in last night's game? He ended up with 2.
2, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a boost for Samuel, McLaurin, each going over 50 receiving yards, and Washington to win. Now, that was capped at certain amounts. So luckily I didn't pour into that. But yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
I mean, the Bears almost put up 200 more yards than Washington last night and lost.
Yeah, it's Justin Fields shouldn't be in the NFL. And Carson Wentz is so bad that he now is like equal to Justin Fields and probably shouldn't be in the NFL anymore. I mean, you can't bet on stuff like that anymore. No. I'm done. Unless it's unders.
Under. Love the under.
Yes.
I
yes,
took Carolina,
it is the season of unders. It really is.
I took on Carolina plus 11, by the way.
Who?
The Panthers. Carolina
plus
11 against a Rams team that's bad. And look, this line opened up at 9. It moved to 11 because PJ Walker is in for Baker Mayfield. Look,
Temple zone.
Temple zone. And I get it. Like, he doesn't have the sample size as far as the amount of games, but the sample size only hurts Baker Mayfield. Are you telling me that PJ Walker is a 2-point drop from Baker Mayfield? And look, how about Steve Wilkes or whatever the hell the guy's name is? You're telling me that he is a 2-point drop off from Matt Rule, who couldn't get out of his own way? I'm sorry, but if I have 11 double-digit points against a team in LA who Matthew Stafford is set to be sacked 71 or 72 times this year, I'll take the Panthers. And a lot of people will be like, what? Just watch.
No, I love that play.
Just watch. You know, and real quick, too, every single person on this team is looking to make a point where if they lose by a field goal or they can turn around and say, see, wasn't me. It was the guy you fired.
Very true. Any other NFL plays before we jump into some college football?
I'm on Arizona. I took them on the money line, so I laid 144 on that. Don't really have an issue with that one by any means. And then the last one is I just pounded the Chiefs. So I played the Chiefs 3 times over here. I don't get this at all. I mean, look, walk me through this.
Home dogs.
Yeah, maybe I'm missing something. All right. So this is what I have on Kansas City. I took them plus 124. I took them plus 3.5 alternate, laid 0.7 to win 0.5 just because of how close these games are. And then I took them plus a 0.5 point first half as well. I think you can also, no, I'll leave it at that. Look, this is a 3-point line, right? Or line open, at 1 and is now at -3. So because, it opened the look ahead at 1, but because Buffalo beat the ever-living piss out of Pittsburgh, it's moved to 2 points. This is what a -3 line in this game at Kansas City really means. It's a 6-point neutral field. It's a 9-point line in Buffalo.
Wow.
If I had Buffalo -9 at home against Kansas City for either one of you, are you telling me you're laying 9 points?
No way.
No, I don't. I can't decide if I like really want to bet on that game or if I just want to stay away from it. Because when Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen face off against each other, like you just truly never
What's
know
the
what's going to
total?
happen. I don't know. My FanDuel app is not working at the moment, so I can't see.
Oh, sorry. I was muted. Last I had it was 52.5, but it moved. It's 54 now.
Okay. Do we like the over in that?
I wouldn't take the under. Not
Yeah.
in that game.
I'm gonna pass on the total there. What's the biggest driving force for you to bet this game, Devin?
I mean, it's gonna be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, but I don't need to have a wager on it to watch it. That's the thing.
I just think there's insane value on the Chiefs
Yeah.
at plus
home.
3.
Yeah.
Like I always pride myself on being unofficial Bills Mafia, especially when
Yeah. I forgot about that one.
You have too many allegiances.
So I mean, but yeah, I don't know. I need to do more research on that game. All right, let's talk about college
Real quick,
football.
I got one more NFL one.
Oh,
Up to the
okay.
New York Giants beat the Baltimore Ravens.
What?
For one reason and one reason only.
What?
You remember Don, don't call me Wink,
Martindale. Yeah, the defensive coordinator.
This guy was run out of Baltimore last year because they had to fire somebody. They needed to fire somebody.
Wait a second. These guys are going to rally for Wink?
Let me tell you, Wink is in the house, all right? He's got this. You see my screen here? You can't even fit the size of the circle that Martindale has over this game here. Every single stop is going to be pulled out. The Giants are actually a decent team. I hate to say it, but give me the Giants money line.
Wow.
Over the
Look, if anyone knows how to stop Lamar Jackson, it's him. So I like it. That's a really good point. Didn't really think about that one.
I don't know. I can't buy into that.
No?
No.
You want me to give you Joe Cullen?
I'm not buying Daniel Jones on anything.
I agree, Harry.
Yeah.
I agree. I think, I mean, as long as Saquon is healthy, like their offense is going to be scary in terms of the run game. But like, I'm not sold on Daniel Jones at all.
They were 9 and 118 in games in which they were trailing by 14 points or more points. 9 and 118, and your guy Daniel Jones snapped it. All I'm saying. All right, I know we got to get out. Sorry. College,
okay, right? Really quick. Any last college football plays? Anything else you guys want to throw out there?
Go ahead,
I told Eitan that I cashed out of the Alabama play, the Tennessee play, plus 7.5. When I saw a tweet from the guy at BetMGM that said 80% are on. What did I say it was? Eitan,
Tennessee spread.
Yeah, the Tennessee spread. And only 6% of the money. So I was just like, I'm out of this. I don't need to bet it. I'll cash out. And I put my money on Penn State plus the 7 instead because of the week off with a 45-year-old quarterback that is super experienced going into Michigan with 7 points and, Franklin with 2 weeks to prepare to try to get a defense. And Manny Diaz has done a really nice job with that defense too, to just stuff the run against Michigan. And I think they can win the game. I think Penn State can win that game. So I'm taking them plus 7. And I don't like betting Penn State, but I just think it's the side. And I took the over in the USC-Utah game at 64.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I have USC by 3 in that game. So I have them winning that game. But I think it correlates where USC doesn't win a 17-10 game. They win a shootout. That's their nature. I didn't think about taking the total there, but I actually like that a lot. For Friday night, real quick, I took the points, Navy. I also same game parlayed that with the over. I think those two correlate nicely. That got me plus 250. I'm with you, Harry. I put a half a unit on Penn State's money line, full though on the under 52. Michigan is 4th in the nation in scoring defense. Penn State is 9th. Check this out. Jim Harbaugh, 2-11 against the spread versus undefeated opponents. He's lost his last 9 against the spread versus undefeated opponents. I can't believe I'm saying this, but go Penn State as long as you can muddy up those khakis.
Gross. I hate it.
I know, Devin. I'm sorry.
It.
I hate it myself. But.
All right. That does it for this Friday edition of Philly Voice Bets. Go Phillies. Go Birds. Go. I hope all your bets hit
Go Flyers.
this weekend. Go Flyers. And Eitan, Harry, thank you. Have good weekends.
Yeah.